Hi everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie's Cards here for Pawsome Stamps. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am creating this beautiful holiday wreath card and I'm showing you all of the colouring today because it's pretty simple really. Apart from the colouring, there's not a great deal to this card. This stamp set is just beautiful. It's so easy to make a wonderful card. It's a really big size, so once you've coloured it, that's all you really need on your card and it's amazing. I absolutely love this new release from Pawsome Stamps. There's so many gorgeous images and this one is one of my favourites for sure. So what I'm going to do is just pop some music on and colour this in. You can watch how I've coloured it and maybe get some inspiration from me, or you might be able to think of some wonderful other colour palettes that you might like to use. So enjoy, and I'll pop back in here in a minute and let you know what else I'm doing with this card. as you can see, I used some pretty traditional colors for my wreath here, and I'm just finishing off with a touch of a white gel pen just to add some nice highlight details to all of my images. Once that is done, I will cut this out and I can start assembling the rest of my card. But isn't this wreath just glorious? I absolutely love it. I could see it done in lots of different colorways. I think some like soft pinks and aqua turquoise kind of colors would look wonderful with this as well. So here it is all cut out and ready to go. And then I've just got a piece of kind of wood grain cardstock, or paper actually, it's just a pattern paper, and I'm going to try and line my wreath up into that rectangle of pattern paper. I've just cut it with a stitched rectangle die, and I'm going to kind of place it down temporarily so that I can figure out where my sentiment is going to go. Now you will see that I mess this up. So I get it all nicely set out, I get my sentiment out, and actually this sentiment comes from this gorgeous stamp set. It is from last year's release, and it's called, I think it's just called Christmas Sentiments, Holiday Sentiments, but I absolutely love it. I pull this one out every year for Christmas cards. It is just perfect for creating beautiful sentiments on the inside or on the outside, as I'm doing today, of your card. So I got it all placed down in the right spot, and then I bumped my wreath and had to start again. So here I am just trying to very carefully get it in the right spot again, lift that wreath up, and then I can pick it up with the door of my stamping tool here, and I'm going to stamp it out with some Versafine Onyx black ink, and I will do that a couple of times just to get a nice crisp clear impression of that sentiment. And I just think it's such a nice sentiment for this wreath and works really, really well for this image. So once I've stamped that out, I can go ahead and pick it up again, and I'm going to pull out a plain white card base. This is a standard size card base at 5.5 by 4.25 inches, and I'm just going to use some liquid glue to attach that wood grain patterned paper there onto the card base. Now you can see that it's got a nice little border all the way around, so I've got that nice white border all the way around that pattern paper, and just a little place to pop my wreath around that sentiment. And it's a very simple card today, very simple, but this wreath does all the work. You don't really need to do a great deal to this card. As you can see, I didn't get my pattern paper quite straight there, so I had to lift it up and just move it around. Luckily I'd used liquid glue, so I had a bit of time to do that. Once I was happy that it was in the right spot, I have gone ahead and attached some foam tape to the back of my wreath. This is quite thin foam tape, so it's not giving it a huge amount of dimension, but it just pops it up from the base just ever so slightly. So I'm just going to try and make sure that I get that nicely lined up and centered, and once I'm happy, I will go ahead and press it down. And that's pretty much my card complete, but I decided it needed a few extra little embellishments here. So I'm pulling out this gorgeous sequin mix from Pawsome Stamps, and I'm going to pop a few little sequins around and about. So this is a nice red and white sequin mix, and it just works perfectly with the colors that I've used in my card today. I will leave a list of all the items that I've used in my card today down below in the description box, along with links to the Pawsome Stamps website. So if you are interested in any of these products, you can just click on the link and go straight to the shop. And I do recommend going and checking out this wonderful new Christmas release. It is full of just beautiful, gorgeous goodies, and definitely worth checking out. So I always have trouble attaching my sequins down. I don't know why. I see other people do it and they make it look so easy, but I always struggle, and my sequins stick to the wrong parts, and yeah, I don't know why. I have a bit of a nightmare with that, but I did actually manage to get these down eventually. And then I was looking at it and thinking, well, maybe I should put some more sequins on the center of my wreath. So I decided to pull a few out there and fiddle around with them, get them in the right spot. And once I was happy with those, I glued those down as well. But that's not all. So recently I have rediscovered my love of glossy accents, and I pulled those out today and added a little bit to my card for a little bit of extra embellishment. So I just used the glossy accent on the baubles and on the center of that little kind of sugar cookie there that I've got in my wreath, and it just adds a little bit of shine, just kind of a little bit of dimension as well. So the key thing to remember with glossy accents is to leave them to dry. You want to leave it for about 24 hours to make sure that it's set completely, and please do not put your fingers in it. I have done that and it makes a mess. So that is it. My card is all complete. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's very festive. I love those traditional red and green colors. Please do go and check out the Pawsome Stamps website for these gorgeous products and many others from the new release. If you enjoyed this video, here are a couple of others that you might enjoy as well. And thank you so much for joining me today. Take care.